My name is Dawn. I had the Duodenal Switch on August 25th, 2014. My weight before the surgery was 312 pounds, and my weight today is 150. My weight struggle started when I was 11 years old. I kind of blew up in sixth grade, and I don't really remember what the weight did to me as a child. I don't remember the feelings that I had at that time. I just know growing up, being an adolescent, an overweight teen was rough. Afraid to take the class where you got to swim in front of everybody in a bathing suit, that kind of stuff. But as I got older, I kind of came into my own, and I accepted my weight, what I weighed, and I still love myself that way. My weight problem was something that I knew was, in the back of my mind, but it wasn't, something I tried to deal with as a child, as a teenager. When I became an adult, Weight Watchers, all those different things I tried and really wanted to do it, hard to stick with, hard to keep the weight off that I lost. So I just, went on with my life and just bought bigger clothes as I got bigger. Even after having a child, I gained more weight there, and it just kept going. Then I noticed, I'm kneeling in church and my knees are hurting, or I had to constantly say, Cameron, pick that up for mommy. I couldn't reach down to get stuff. And that's when I said, I'm only 39. I can't hurt more than my mother does, because she sits at church with me in the same pew, and she's kneeling with no problem. So I was like, I have to do something. So I already had Dr. Beloff's recommendation from my cousin. She had surgery 5 years prior to that, I'd want to say. So once I made the decision to have surgery or to look into it, I knew exactly who to come to, which I think is the hardest part for patients. Is first, it's really hard to come to that decision to have surgery, but the second part is, who do I trust my life to, And I was lucky I didn't have that second part. I just had to realize that it was something I really needed to do, and then I knew who to go to. I had Dr. Beloff. He was suggesting something to me, the Duodenal Switch, and I was just like, you're not messing with my intestines. I just want the sleeve, right? So I went on my nutrition bout, going that I'm towards the, towards the sleeve. So I started, doing a nutrition for that. But at the end, I said to Dr. Beloff, I said, convince me why I should get the Duodenal Switch. And he said, I'm not going to convince you. I'm going to tell you what's best for you, but you have to, at the end of the day, be happy with yourself. And that's when that clicked. It clicked I'm going to an expert, and he's giving me his expert opinion. And what if I don't lose as much as I want to? What if I'm not happy with the results? I'll have nobody to blame but myself, because I didn't listen to Dr. Beloff. But ever since he said those words, click, I knew. I called the nutritionist. All right, let's change my game plan. I'm going to Duodenal Switch, and let's do it. I always find it funny that I would say I was a healthy, overweight person, because I really didn't have anything. During the preparation for the surgery, when you go to the sleep apnea person, he said that I did have a mild case of it, and he put me on surgery. He put me on the sleep apnea machine because I was going to have surgery, and he wanted me to have the most oxygen in my body. But otherwise, it wasn't something that plagued me, for a while or anything. And come to find out, I was pre-diabetic at the time, so those were just the two things, but really nothing else. So some of the things that I wasn't able to do before the surgery was anything that was active, right? Like I said, getting on the floor to pick something up, kneeling down under my, get something under my bed. But I took it a step further. I decided to, I was able to volunteer for an animal shelter. And I always wanted to do that, but I was just, first of all, I was tired, so I couldn't do it because I was tired. Second of all, it's extraneous, a lot of effort goes into that. So I was like, now I have the energy, now I know I can do this. So I started volunteering at an animal shelter. I got to roll around on the ground with the dogs. I got to clean their kennels, walk them, and have all this energy to do that. And it's opened my life for volunteering. I do so much more. I built, helped build a ramp with Habitat for Humanity last month. So different things I can move about. I just got my motorcycle on Friday, my first motorcycle. So I was thinking, wow, when I was taking the class a couple weeks ago, Mother's Day, I was like, if I was still overweight, I don't think I would have been able to do this, you know? So that's something. After surgery, I had joined a roller derby team, so I tried that because I love to skate. A funny thing that people laugh at me about is one of my goals. When Dr. Bealoff said, "What's your goals for losing weight?" 1, my knees stop hurting when I'm in church. 2, I get on the Harry Potter ride at Universal Studios. Because when I went, I didn't even try. I looked and I was like, no. So 2 months after my surgery, I was on the Harry Potter ride. I lost 70 pounds and was able to get on that ride with no problem. So missing out on family fun is not an issue anymore. All of that. A big impact of losing the weight is something that I say it saved my life. Losing the weight saved my life in 2 ways. 1, because you get a longer life when you're thinner, and you eat better. So, but number 2, when I was at a yearly visit with my gynecologist, she had felt some lumps in my pelvic area, and she thought they were cysts and sent me for some testing, and it turned out that it was lymphoma. And the one thing she said to me that it kind of still haunts me to today is that she said, if you didn't lose the weight, I probably would not have felt those lumps. And that hit home really hard. So I lost the weight and I was able to be detected that I had cancer. But additionally, my treatment was wearing a chemo bag 5 days a week, 24 hours a day, every 3 weeks for 4 months. And it's just as tiring as it was to say it, right? It's tiring to do that. So I remember looking in the mirror one day and just going, I was really tired and I had to drive myself to 50 plus doctor's appointments. It was hard, and I know how hard it was to move with weight on me. Imagine moving with that weight and then an illness on top of it. I just thank my lucky stars at that time that I was thin enough to be able to do what I had to do still and get through my day. And one of the things too I'm really proud of is my daughter. So when I lost the weight, right? So my daughter was overweight as well. And when you're a mom, I felt bad. I'm leaving my kid behind. She's overweight. I'm overweight. I'm going to move on this journey without her. But I know you have to put your mask on first to help others in your life. That's what I did. I got my surgery under my belt. I decided to take over the cooking in the home because I knew how to do it, how we needed to be healthy. And so by doing that, she lost 60 pounds as well with me. So, and she was 15, so it changed her life as well because a 15-year-old overweight child, it's really hard. So that was another thing that impacted my life too, my daughter's life. So some can say you probably try, if you think about it and you talk to a therapist, maybe you kept yourself overweight so that you could not attract people into your life like that. And it's an interesting concept because sometimes I do hear myself say, sometimes I wish I was still overweight when it came to the attention that I get from men sometimes. It's hard to take sometimes, I'm not used to it. I said that to somebody recently as January. I said it. Haven't said it since because I found the right person and I'm happy I attracted him. But I remember saying that, so I realized in my head, yeah, maybe that was part of it, which is awesome too because during your preparation for the surgery, you do talk to a psychologist or a therapist. That's all part of the journey. And so it's very interesting, I realized that is probably part of why I stayed overweight for so long. It is really cool because I'll get on an elevator and I'll just talk to somebody, right? And they'll talk back because they're nice, right? But then there's like, do I know you? And I'm like, it's Dawn. And they're like, oh my gosh. I'm like, that's right, you haven't seen me since my weight loss. So it's really cool to see that reaction. One thing I would recommend is definitely exercising early on and everything because I think it gets touched upon when you're talking with the doctors or that you do have extra, your skin, that remains. You lose the weight, but you still have that skin, So I did have a body lift last year, 360 circumferential body lift. Make sure you stay on top of your exercising and whatever it's going to take to keep yourself looking the way you want to look when you lose the weight. I didn't exercise right away. I'm doing it now. I joined the Max because I've gained 10 pounds actually this year. Emotional year for me, and I'm on some medications, and I gained some weight. And instead of giving up and saying, oh, whatever, I joined the Max. I've been working out every day, trying to do the diet, but it doesn't match with bariatric diet, requirements. So definitely exercise, eating well. You have to do it. I'm not worried that I can't lose the 10 pounds. I know I can do it. It's just that after time, it's been 4 years. It'll be 4 years this August, right? So after time, they do say your tool, it's a tool, it's gonna help, but you have to do still the hard work, and it's worth it.